To chapter 3, verse 1. Moshe Moshe was watching the sheep of Yisro Chosno, his father, of Yisro's father-in-law, Kohen Midyan. And Vayinhag et atzon achar midbar, and he guided the sheep far into the wilderness. Vayavo el hara elokim choreva, and he came to the mountain of God Choreva. Okay, so I know that where this is a study session focused on Rashi, but it's hard for me to read this without remembering that this is a proof that Moshe Rabbeinu, that Har Sinai is in Saudi Arabia, because Midyan is clearly in Saudi Arabia. And he was guarding the sheep in the wilderness of Midyan, and so therefore, most likely, when he came to Horeb, which is another name for Sinai, most likely it was to a mountain nearby. So once you say it's a mountain in Midyan, there's not that many mountains you could choose from there. There's not 20 mountains. There's like 3 or 4 possible mountains, and to cover our bases, we went to all of them, and I wrote the Torah at those mountains. There's one at every mountain, yeah. So there's a lot of archaeological evidence to support that. So he was also, Rabbi Soloveitchik makes the argument that this is clearly not the first time that Moshe Rabbeinu went to this mountain. He had gone there multiple times before to pray, so that's why he knew about it. You had something to add, Seth? You look like you're enjoying this.
You placed a lot of chips at the casino on different spots to make sure you landed here.
No, I mean, I have to, because
that's what it was.
I took the Torah that I wrote to, I finished the Torah and I took it to when I took it to the scribe, I said to him, who checks all my work, I said to him, how much could one of my Torahs go for? Because I just wanted to know, I don't sell them. He said, this is the one you wrote at Mount Sinai. Priceless. Priceless. Anyway, right? Yeah, three to choose. So 3 probable mountains. There's Jebel Al-Auz, Jebel Mekla, Jebel Horeb. I personally thought it was the Jebel Horeb, which is the one that was separate from the other 2, but it's
the one that you wrote on the screen.
So no. It's I wrote a few different pieces, so we're going to share some in different Torahs.
Nice.
Okay, not just one.
Good idea.
So therefore,
Be a trillionaire.
So let's see what Rashi says. Achar and midbar, which is a very unusual phrase. It doesn't appear anywhere else. Means Rashi says he wanted to distance himself from theft. So he took the sheep far into the wilderness, so that the flocks were not grazing in the fields of others. Actually, when you go to that area, you see that one of the major figures there is Jethro. And Yitro is a very big prophet in the Quran. So Yitro features very prominently in Midyan. And to this day, they have a whole setup dedicated to Yitro, his burial place. And also they have a huge well called the Well of Moses. That's probably the well where Moshe met his wife. So, okay. El Hara came to the mountain of God, Al Shem Atid, because then in the future, that's going to be Mount Sinai. Wow. Oh, my smokes. This is unbelievable. We're about to read something so powerful. It's going to move you to tears. God appeared to him in a flame of fire. This should move you to tears, because just a few hours ago, because Colby started by citing the page of the Talmud, and then people gave him a hard time and saying, no, we're not doing Talmud, we're doing Chumash. But this was actually quoted in the Talmud this morning, that the word to blow, labas eish, is to like blowing by the fire. So that's the same twice today we got this phrase. And in fact, he writes here, a flame of fire. So the angel of God appeared to him in a flame of fire, mitoch hasneh, from the bush. Vayar v'nei sneh boer ba'esh v'asneh in will call him. Behold, the fire was burning, the burning bush, the bush was not consumed. So, when you think about that, so we went to this mountain. The mountain we slept at was Jebel Horeb. We slept there in tents at the foot of the mountain. And then I hear about the fire. So we had some Bedouins who are or locals, I don't know what they were, Bedouins or whatever, local desert people who were our guides there. And we all were in tents, but they were out in the outskirts. But I was on the outskirts of the tent, and they had a fire going, and they were up all night, and I could hear them all night. I remember that. Okay, so they were singing their Bedouin songs. It was very beautiful. Davar acher, alternatively, libo shoesh, the heart of the fire. Okay. The angel of God appeared to him in the heart of the fire from the bush, and behold, the bush was burning in fire, and the bush was not consumed. Rashi says, "Mitoch hasneh," from within the thorn bush, "V'lo ilan acher," and not another tree. Why? Why did God appear in a thorn bush? Why did God specifically appear in a thorn bush? To say, "Imo anochi b'tzara," I am with him in distress. God is saying, "I'm with you." And the bush was not consumed. Ne'achal was consumed. It was not consumed. Rashi is teaching us. Okay, so this is the idea. Now, obviously, we can't really find that burning bush today because there's so many bushes that it could be, but there are a lot of bushes that look like that there. Vayomer Moshe responds, Asura na vereh. Let me turn aside and I will see at the mareh gadol hazeh, this very big, great sight. Madua lo yavaras now. Let me see why the bush is not burning. Rashi says, Asura na. Let me turn aside now and see. Asura mekan let karev sham. Let me turn aside and I will turn from here to approach there. Okay. So Vayara Hashem kisar ot, and God saw that Moses had turned aside to see. And God called him from the burning bush. Vayomer Moshe, Moshe, Vayomer Hineni. He says, Moshe, Moshe. He says, Moshe, Moshe, and Moshe says, here I am. So, what is going on here? Vayomer al tikra. God says, don't come closer. Shal na'alecha mi'al raglecha. Remove your shoes from your feet. Because the place where you're standing, that's holy. So by the way, that's where I was. I was there.
Shoes off?
No, because I didn't think of it. But I took my shoes off in the middle of the night, but I was there. I'm not Kodesh, it's holy land. Shall take your shoes off. Shlof vote, say, remove your shoes. Remove your shoes. Admat Kodesh, it's holy land.
Rashi doesn't say anything why Hashem had to say Moshe's name twice.
Well, elsewhere, Rashi comments that saying somebody's name twice is an expression of love. Yeah. It's an expression of love.
Also in last week's parsha with the Shvatim.
Yeah. Yeah, he says it all, Yaakov, he says Avram. I don't know if Yitzchak's name is ever said twice. It's an expression of love. Okay, verse 6. Vayomer Anochi okay Avicha, okay Avram. He says, I'm the God of your father, the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, the God of Jacob. Vayaster Moshe Panav, ki yarei me'abit el Elokim. Moshe hid his face from him because he was afraid to look at God. Vayomer Hashem, God says, Ra'o ra'isi es ani ami asher b'Mitzrayim. Behold, I see the afflictions of my people that are in Egypt. Ve'etzakatam shamati, and their cries I have heard. Imnei noksef, from their taskmasters. Ki adati et machovav, because I know its pains. Rashi says, what does it mean I know its pains? Kamo vayedo Elokim. God knows his pains. Kisamti leiv litbonen v'adat et machovav. I focused my heart to understand his pains. Verse 8. I'll go down to save him from Egypt. To bring him up from that land. To the land that's good and wide. Eretz Zavat Chalav V'Dvash, land flowing with milk and honey. The land with the Canaanites, Hittites, Amorites, Perizzites, Hivites, and Yevusites. Didn't mention anything about the Girgashi there, but that's a different thing. Verse 9. Now the cries of Israel are coming to me. God is speaking to Moshe from the burning bush. I saw the stress that the Egyptians are oppressing them. You go now, and I'll send you to Pharaoh and take forth my people, children of Israel, from Egypt. Rashi says, Paro, you go. And if you're going to say, what will it accomplish? Say it to me, take out my people, your words will be effective. You'll take them out from there. Okay? So God is saying to Moshe, this is the first time God speaks to Moshe, and he's told Moshe, you're going to bring, I've heard the cries of the people, you're going to lead them out. Verse 11, Vayomer Moshe Elokim. Moshe doesn't want to do it. Moshe says to God, Mi anochi, who am I? Paro, that I could go to Pharaoh. Who am I that I'm going to lead the children of Israel? This is a very important question. I'm glad that Moshe and Kobe are here today, because Moshe is saying, who am I? But all the great movements in history started with people who didn't ask that question, who am I? They just went ahead and did it. They didn't wait to be appointed. Moshe is saying, how am I going to do it? Moshe says, Mani chashuv, what significance am I to speak with kings? That I could take the children of Israel out. And even if I am significant, now he has another question. This is a different question. Moshe says, even if I am significant, what merit do the children of Israel have that you'll do a miracle for them and that I could lead them out? So Moshe is really making 2 points. Well, first point is, who am I? And the second point is, who are they? Why do they deserve to get out? That's a very powerful point Rashi is making. Verse 12. Vayomer, and God says, Ki imach, I will be with you. V'zelecha ot, this will be for you a sign. Ki anochi shelachticha, that I sent you forth. V'otiecha ta'ami mitzrayim tavdun et elokim al harazeh. Says this will be the sign that I sent you forth. When you go out of Egypt, you'll worship God on this mountain. It makes it sound like this is a special mountain, that very, very special place that you're going to worship God. Specifically on this mountain, and I just felt in my heart when I was in Saudi Arabia that it was Jebel Horeb, that's the mountain I felt was it, because it has a special crown at the top. But anyway, it was the mountain was the most removed from the other mountains. It wasn't near any other mountain. So Moshe said. So Rashi says, Eshivu al rishon va'achron achron. First of all, God answers him on the first question first and on the last question last. Moshe said, who am I? And God says, I'll be with you. Shamarta mi anochi ki elecha paro. He said, who am I? You're not going from you, but you're going with me, because I'll be with you. And this is the appearance that I saw in the bush. This is the sign for you that I sent you forth. And you'll succeed in my mission. And I have the ability to do it, just like just like this bush is doing my mission and is not burning, so to you. Just so you too will go on my mission and you will not be damaged. And that what you asked. And then you asked the second question. What merit do the children of Israel possess that they should go out of Egypt? I have something great. In the future, they're going to receive the Torah on this mountain. 3 months after they leave Egypt, they're going to get the Torah right on this mountain. That's the merit. The merit that they're getting is that they're going to receive the Torah on this mountain. Meaning to say,
That's the point.
that's the point. You say, what? Why do they deserve it? They deserve it because they're going to worship. Baruch atah Adonai Melech HaKol Niyeh B'Diyor. And then he says, Hi ayeh imach, I'll be with you. Davar acher, zeh shetatzliach b'shlichutcha. You will succeed in your mission. This is lecha ot. Al haftacha acharet. This is your sign that of another promise. Shani maftichacha shekeshetotzieh miMitzrayim tavdonu oti al har hazeh shetekabuna Torah alav v'yizchut omedet liYisrael. He's saying the same thing. I'm not sure I see the difference, but okay.
On the Rashi and Yud Aleph, where
Yeah.
Moshe asks Shem, are these people, where he questions not just me, but Israel, that seems to be a pretty interesting thing that's happening. That in Moshe's first conversation with Hashem, that he's somebody that's supposed to be fairly humble, yet he's asking, a question of Israel's worthiness when Hashem just says, "This is what I want you to do."
Right away, he's challenging God. Right? Yeah, it's a very good point.
I don't know. I mean, it's just the obvious, but I don't think I've ever heard that Rashi where Moshe asks the word. Didn't he love Bnei Israel at that point? Didn't he still, even though he was, what was his?
Doesn't Moshe has to evolve a person, right? He doesn't.
But
He doesn't really have a relationship. What kind of relationship about that does he have?
Well, I would say that's one possible reading. Another possible reading is he has a relationship with God, but he doesn't have a relationship with the Bnei Israel. He's left Bnei Israel and he's abandoned them. And then God is telling him, go back and redeem them. Go back and redeem them. And Moshe is saying, why?
Right.
Why do I need to redeem them? What are they done to deserve it?
He hasn't been with them for 60 years or 40 years.
Trying to understand what
Rabbi Yosef said he hasn't been with them for 60 years. At this point, Moshe's 80.
hasn't been with them for 60 years. That was my question in the context of it.
And he's like, why are you sending me back there? They're not, who are they? They're not, they don't even know that they're descendants of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. They're totally assimilated into Egyptian culture. You want me to go back and say that you're Hebrews? Yeah, John, Shmuel.
Is Moshe also, is he trying to clarify, like, what's my mission for you, Hashem?
Mission
I
statement.
need to reconnect. I don't know how to reconnect. I don't know my place. I don't have a relationship.
Very nice.
What do you do? What do you want from me? I'm confused.
Beautiful, beautiful,
He knew
John.
it was Hashem, though, even, when he wouldn't look in the fire, he knew what the situation was. And this is, I know it.
Never seen them.
I don't know, I just feel like with the awe, with the moment of that, it's just an interesting Rashi on a lot of levels, but it does help to know the timeline that it was far from his last real connection with Am Yisrael.
But even then, when he was in Israel, he was raised in a palace, and other than killing the taskmaster in Egypt, he really had to run away because he doesn't know these people.
Can I say, may I?
Yeah.
Just because I've been thinking about this a lot since it's on a different topic, but I received a picture the other day, and I've been thinking about a topic about our place in the world, especially during this time, right? So just like that was a day of awe in a different way, right? Like I understand what you're saying through the lens of maybe how I perceive some elements of Am Yisrael since October the 7th. We live in a palace here in America, so to speak, in the same way, and we're insulated in a way. And some of us, I think, are struggling very much with all sorts of ways to connect to Am Israel and how do we be there for Eretz Israel, even though we know we love Eretz Israel, we know it, but we're still like, even though we know the gravity of the situation, And I will point out to you that on that very day, it took some of us, I think, even though we understood the gravity of the situation, I think, it took a lot of people a while to really understand,
Right.
even though it was right there in front of us, the gravity and the severity of the situation. And that's our human, mind, and Moshe has to evolve just like all of us, even during extraordinary circumstances. And I think that's something that Moshe's maybe evolving.
Gotcha.
So, very beautiful, beautiful. So verse 13, Vayomer Moshe Elokim, Moshe says to God, Hinei anochi ba'elech al bnei Yisrael. I'm going to go to the children of Israel, V'amarti lehem, and I'll say to them, Elokei avotechem shalchani elechem. I'll say to them, your God, the God of your fathers, sent me to you. Va'amrui, and they'll say to me, Ma Shemo, what's his name? Ma omar lehem, what should I say to them? Meaning to say, Moshe is saying, who are you? They don't know who you are. What am I supposed to say to them? Now, this is a verse. I once read a book by Eric Fromm just about this one verse. Vayomer Elokim al Moshe, Eya asher Eya. God said to Moses, I will be that I will be. Now, if you write the Torah, is this the name of God? Did he just say the name of God? Vayomer ko tamar of Bnei Yisrael Eya shalchani alechem. So when you write this Torah, you say to the children of Israel, I shall be, sent me to you. Now, when you write the Torah, before you write the name of God, you have to say L'Shem Kedushas Hashem, for the purpose of writing the holy name of God before you write God's name. But when you're not,
Every iteration, Yud Kei Vav Kei,
Yeah.
Elohim.
yeah, but sometimes you're not sure if it's the name of God. There's some words that you're not sure if they're the name of God. So then you have to say, if this is the name of God, I'm writing this L'Shem Kedushas Hashem, and if it's not the name of God, I'm writing it L'Shem Kedushas Sefer Torah. But this one, it could be the name of God itself, or it could just be referring to God. So he says, what does it mean, I will be? So Fromm has a beautiful essay about that. You know about Eric Fromm? You know who he is? You know who Eric Fromm is? What? No, that's Viktor Frankl. Eric Fromm was, I believe, a student of Freud, and he wrote this book, which I read, and it was all about this, about Eya as being like being that will be being. So you have to read that book, because I read it and I don't remember it, but I remember reading it and thinking it was brilliant. That's where I am in life. I don't remember what.
It was called just, I will.
Look up. I don't remember. I don't even remember the title of the book. But look up Eric Fromm. You don't read Eric Fromm?
I mean, I love Franco.
No. This. Never read Eric Fromm. ERICHFROMM. I think. Hold on. Let me just show it to you. Do the verse tomorrow. Let me show it to you. Does it have it?